Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another gameplay video. Today, we've got my friend James on the left playing Gogeta 21 Ramp. Pretty cool build. It's tricolor, blue, green, and red. On the right, we've got Dan Vang playing red, green, pan. So we got a control deck on the left playing against a pretty aggressive mid-range deck on the right. We're going to see how this turns out. Guys, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe. Hit that bell so you don't miss a video. If you want to buy the cards you see here, make sure to use my link to TCG Player or Beer Collectibles down below. Helps channel out a lot. Really appreciate each and every one of you guys that's able to do that for me. With that being said, let us see what goes on here. So we see Dan is actually main decking Chain Zeno, which I think is pretty unusual for most red-green builds. I definitely think it's good because certain matchups like Chain Zeno will pretty much outright win it for you. Like, I guess especially blue-based leaders, they don't typically play their counterplay, which is you're wide open, because bouncing back to the hand is usually pretty lackluster. So we'll see if it puts in work for Dan here. Man, I remember when Chain Zeno was super broken and I wanted it banned for a long time, but I guess as time has gone on, it's probably just got worse, you know, with decks that are able to preserve their life total while maintaining a large hand size. And I think over time, people have kind of just learned how to play around it. So I guess that's a thing. We're setting up the life here. We'll see who gets to go first. Dan giving the leader a quick read. Probably doesn't see that too much. Kind of unfortunate too that the new cooler arrival kind of wrecks the Veku ramp package, but that's not really too much of a problem in my opinion, at least, because while it does answer your main ramp card, you do obviously have the Android 16 that James just charged. And against cooler, they're not killing you super fast, I don't think. And it's another mid-range red deck, so you're also a mid-range blue-red deck. TN got hit, so now you don't have to worry about being able to play defense. You have Dimension Magic. You could transition to playing Unbreakables. You could side out your Vekus and put in a much more live card. Like I said, maybe something like Unbreakable. You know that you'll have that energy on tap, which is really, really helpful in my opinion. So James coming up here. And this is such an interesting thing about the multicolor format that if you go first, you do get a really big advantage. Like, I don't think it's an auto win advantage, but the fact that you have 2 up in energy and your opponent's tapped out, if you are, I don't know, playing something like yellow, you have Bardock Raider's Warcry that you know your opponent can't really stop, which is really cool. That's not going to be super important here just because, you know, James isn't playing a yellow deck. But if, you know, Pan went first, we could say he could like arrival in a Gogeta, be very aggressive. Oh my god, if Dan would have went first and dropped this Vegeta with familial bonds with James having an untapped energy, or a tapped energy rather, that would have been really impactful. But anyways, we are going aggressive with the digging deep here. And that is a 25k beater, thanks to Pan. What's really cool is if Dan was able to awaken here, he could drop Heartfelt Plea, which I don't know if he plays in his list or not, but he was not at the range to awaken, so that's not quite an option. But if that digging deep does survive, it will be an option. And James is already at 4 life, so James is getting aggroed pretty hard here. But again, he is blue. This is a best of 1, so no TN to really worry about. James is going to look at top 5, reveal a Vegeta. And yeah, James can play some value defense. He could awaken here if he wants to. I am kind of imagine he's going to drop Veku and then awaken just to keep the defensive options live, but maybe he won't awaken. If he had some super combos, I would say he probably doesn't have to awaken, but I think because he's lacking super combos, he might have to awaken here and swing into the Vegeta. It is high value, but he definitely wants to awaken later, that's for sure. So he's going to swing without awakening here. Very interesting call. Now if Dan wants to use the digging deep, he'd have to go past down to 3 life, and Dan is going to opt to combo out of the leader swing, probably for that exact reason. James is definitely winning the card advantage battle, even though he pitched 2 for Veku, and he'll get those 2 back. James going to absolute release ball and get an energy back up. I like that play a lot. I really like that play. Being at 3 is a little scary, but Pan doesn't have access to really any triple strikers, again, except for Plea. Dan could be playing it. I don't know if he is. I guess Dan could also be playing the Raditz SCR, so that's something to be scared of. But as long as you're at 3 and not at 2, you won't auto lose to it. James does get his ramp off, which is exactly what he wants to be doing. And it looks like Dan is playing the skillless Pan engine, which I think is a really cool engine. He's probably playing the Piccolo you could play for free, although I don't think we see it in his hand at the moment. But that absolute release ball play was big by James. I like that a lot. So he's going to awaken and drop the Trunks. But still, that absolute release ball stifled his tempo quite a bit. 15k at leader. James is going to have to play defense here. He's going to bean up to 15. Double bean. So that's 20k. Digging Deep does have another swing. Trunks has a swing. So James is going to have to combo more if he wants to get out of those attacks. We'll see what he opts to do here. And again, not seeing super combos I think is kind of rough for him. A little bit rough for James here. He's going to combo a he's going to... I guess they went back a little bit. I guess Dan was deciding if he wanted to combo. James is going to drop a 5k. Digging Deep going in here. Now, I think James has the Goku negate in his hand. I would probably just negate the attack. Yeah, there he goes. He's going to do that. And it is optional. James has the option to, at the end of the turn, pitch a card and bring it back to his hand. But he's probably not going to do that unless he needs the fusion target. I don't think he's actually playing any more fusions. Just the Veku, which he's already used. So I don't think he'll need the Goku back in hand, but we'll see. Oh, he is going to pitch it. Okay. Yeah, I guess the Android 16 is kind of dead. The extra ramp might be useful, but I guess not super essential. He does have the 17. So that's the auto energy right there. And the one red's really great because that means James has access to Topo. So doesn't have it in his hand, but again, pretty helpful. But James though, James having the ability to arrival the Vegeta SCR while Dan is at 1 energy standing. I think that's very good. But is he going to play the ramp Veku here? Interesting. Okay. He's going to drop the ramp Veku. I think James could have maybe stole the game if he actually went into the Vegeta SCR, since Dan only has 1 energy, but I guess James has other plays in mind. What's really cool too is that he was able to pitch the Vegeta to get the Veku, and the Veku's a blue card for his combos. That's pretty neat. So he is finally going to awaken with the Gogeta here. The really cool thing about Gogeta Leader is that he just automatically removes threats from the board by paying 2, and you have such a surplus of energy that's a very easy play to make. You know, it's not going to threaten him too much if he does it. So Dan's actually going to protect the Trunks here. Oh, but James is going to pass turn and not remove any of them. I wonder why he decided to do that. He does have the blocker. I don't know if he has Topo at the moment. Topo would be big here, though. He does have Vegeta the Cruel. That's pretty big. But no Topo kind of hurts, I think. You see Dan has the SS3 Tag Team Trunks in his hand. It's a really strong card for Pan. 20k crit base because of Pan's ability. Pitch a card that you just drew off your leader, so you even out on the exchange, essentially. So Dan's going to charge the Familial. Swing with the leader. And I think I see the Raditz SCR in his hand, I think. Dan's hand looking a bit clunky, though. Several 10Ks. I see a Familial Bonds in there. So a bit clunky. Gonna go Trunks into leader. And I guess that's why James decided not to spin his board before, so he could Goku negate and Vegeta the Cruel. And he could Vegeta the Cruel right here. That could be a potential play. Get rid of the Digging Deep threat. That'd be cool. Let's see if he opts to do it. He's gonna take the damage there. He is gonna Vegeta the Cruel. Okay. Yeah, that's right, because the Vegeta comes into play after the battle. Yep, good call there. So Vegeta the Cruel is gonna get rid of Digging Deep, and James is at 2 life, so the Raditz SCR can really catch him there. And Dan does have a Topo, so that could be trouble for James. Dan's turn not quite over yet, though. We'll see what he opts to do here. I'm surprised he brought the Vegeta in offensively. I guess he wanted to force the damage in, but I think I would have overwhelmed the SS3 Trunks, though. He's gonna pass here. Okay. Yeah, I think he missed an opportunity to pressure with the SS3 Trunks, but I'm sure he's got his reasons. Did James trip the absolute release ball off the top? That's pretty nuts. That hits a Topo, so that's quite strong. Also, a little surprised James didn't block with the Veku. We're We're going to go leader into Trunks here. Dan, I think, debating if he wants to topo, and he is opting to do it. He'll discard a card. Is James not going to... Oh, James is going to not release ball. Okay. I guess he isn't quite afraid of Dan's next turn, seemingly. James could have had a really strong turn, though, if he would have released ball the topo, in my opinion. So back to Dan's turn. Now Dan has the ability to drop what I think is the SCR in his hand. I'm still having a little bit of trouble making it out. He's going to block the leader swing. Dan is going to bring it in, Arrival Raditz, and I think that's game right there. Yep, that's going to be all she wrote right there. So, yeah, I think James could have potentially played through the topo and actually won the game on that turn, but it was a tough call. I don't know. I don't know if he actually had a green card to combo with. I could have been missing that, so that could have been a rough one. But, guys, hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments below what you think, and I'll see you next time.